If you ever played PvP in Where Winds Meet and your reaction was this, then I got you. Because let me tell you, I love PvP in this game. It's amazing. It's one of the best PvPs I had in a long time. But to be very fair, it has a very, very high skill level and is very technical. If you've ever been spammed to death, you don't think so, but it is. And in today's video, I wanted to showcase the PvP in the game and how you should approach it to enjoy it. And we're going to talk about offensive strategies, defensive strategies, and also advanced strategies. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail about all the weapon combinations because let me just tell you, there are far too many viable weapon combinations in the game, so that video would be like an hour long, but today it's just about the very basics of the PvP and how to approach it. Because I have started with a, 15 win streak in Arena, and I've also done pretty well in the PvP tournaments in my guild, so I think I kind of got a understanding of how the system behind it works. But a quick note before that, I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, and that has been a huge goal of mine for my entire lifetime. So if you enjoy my content, consider maybe subscribing to the channel and also liking the video to support it. But now, without further ado, let's jump into the content. So when it comes to the offensive mechanics of the game, you obviously want to be the one engaging the enemy and trying to get him into a combo. Most of the weapons do have an engage option. For example, I'm using the nameless sword and I can literally just use this ability to engage and get him into a combo. Obviously, the enemy will expect that, so he will probably be in the defensive and try to counter that. But let's say I wait for his offensive and I counter engage him. As you can see, I was waiting for his nameless sword engage and literally just counter engaged him. This is already advanced, but you can technically also use mystical arts to engage. For example, the soaring spin is a great way to quickly engage the enemy. Or you could also use mystical arts that have super armor instead, so you can't be interrupted. So you're trying to find the right timing to engage, and you use mystical arts with super armor to technically come out on top. So if the enemy engages you and you are engaging the enemy, you want to be the one using super armor in order to come out on top. So for example, you can use the frog ability, which is pretty strong actually, and it also has super armor. So if he attacks me and I use the frog, I basically can't be interrupted, and I also have an opening. And this can also be followed up with a engage ability right away. So you can follow up into a combo, for example. Now, another great way to be kind of offensive is using the bow in the game. The bow shouldn't be underestimated, and many people use it in high elo. So you can literally just pressure people from the distance and make them engage you. You literally pressure the enemy to engage you, and whenever they decide to engage you, you can literally go to the other weapon and counter them by dodging. Now, when it comes to the offensive, you obviously want to do a combo, which means you should try to have as minimal gaps in between your attacks and skills as possible. So let's say I got the engage on the enemy with a light combo, for example. You should try to use skills, attacks, and also weapon swap abilities to keep the combo going with as tight gaps as possible. So if you know one of your abilities has a big gap in between, you shouldn't do that. Instead, you should, for example, try to switch to another ability or another weapon before ending the combo. So basically, if I start a light attack combo, I instantly want to go into an ability, into a weapon swap. So you want to chain things together so you have minimal gaps, because whenever there is a gap, the enemy has the chance to parry you. So when it comes to engages, you have to understand that it's mostly combining a technical level of knowledge with mind games. So you want to understand when the enemy is going to engage and basically punish that, but also you want to find the right opening to engage when the enemy is not expecting you to engage. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is you have to watch the posture of the enemy, because the execution in the game is one of the most important things in PvP because it deals a lot of damage. Now, if you attack the enemy and you see his posture is low and you get him into a combo, make sure that you finish him before the posture finish execution prompt is running out. If you miss the execution, you are missing a lot of potential damage. What you also need to understand is that the mystical skills in the game, they are really strong. Specifically mystical skills with damage over time effects like the toad attack, literally adding a poison stack to the enemy that will explode after some time and he will get even more damage. Or the fire breath, which also adds a lot of damage and also damage over time. As you can see, his life is ticking down. And there are other great mystical arts that are very good in PvP. For example, one of my favorite abilities, which is Wolf-like Frenzy. It's great in combos. You can literally just chain it into combos, but it's also a great engage ability, which comes with tracking, so it follows the enemy, which comes with a knock-up, deals a lot of posture damage, a lot of damage in general. So I think it's a great ability for PvP. You can chain it into any kind of combos, basically, if you were better than me, because I didn't chain well, but you didn't see that. Now let's talk about the defensive mechanics of the game, and they are really important. Martial arts always teaches you can always stay in the defensive and counter the enemy when the time is right. But one thing is really, really, really important, and you shouldn't play PvP if you haven't unlocked this. Because the first thing is in your talent section. So if you go to develop and then you go to the talents tab over here and into basic, you need to make sure to unlock Serene Breeze, which is a very, very important ability, which basically breaks you out of combos. And there's also the ability Divine Counter, which is not far away from Serene Breeze, and it's also extremely important for PvP. Serene Breeze actually needs to be equipped, and Divine Counter is always going to be active, so you don't have to equip it. But Serene Breeze literally is a mystical art that you have to equip on one of the mystical arts slots. I mean, you can also use it in PvE to break out of boss combos, but I think it's mostly important for PvP. Now, I've already told you about the counter engage, so I don't have to show it twice. When the enemy engages, you can dodge it and counter engage. But if you are getting attacked, you can literally just break out with Serene Breeze. You will even shock the enemy for a second, so it will allow you to counter attack him. So even in PvP, you can parry. But let's say you don't manage to parry, then the second ability that I just talked about, the Divine Counter, comes into play. So if the enemy attacks me and I just block it, I get this prompt that I can use to basically counter engage the enemy. And these are already two options to go from defense into offense. So I was just talking about the fact that you need to make sure that combos have no gaps in between. Because if there's a gap in between, the enemy that is staggered from the combo can start parrying. And that is what you should always do. If you are being attacked and you don't have Serene Breeze ready, try to hold down block button and also try to spam the parry button. As you can see, I'm being attacked and I'm trying to hold block in between and also trying to like parry. As you can see, I got one block in between, but I'm also like, sometimes I'm able to break out of combos. That's why combos need to be as tight as possible. Now, if you look at my Nameless Sword combo, which is this one, as you can see, it has a lot of gaps in between that people can use to dodge away or to start parrying. So let me showcase you by forcing my enemy to use the Nameless Sword ability and try to block or parry in between. As you can see, the combo is not perfect for PvP. You can always parry in between, which is why you should never do the whole Nameless Sword combo at once in PvP. Unless your enemy is bad, then you can do it, but if he knows anything about the game, he knows that he will be able to parry in between. If I would be the offensive part, I would start the combo, but I would weapon swap in between. So just do the first hits and then weapon swap. The next defensive thing you can do is use mystical arts with super armor at the right time. So let's say the enemy is trying to engage me, for example with the Nameless Sword engage ability. And I will try to use the frog, for example, because it has super armor and it allows me to counter that engage. The same goes for some weapons in the game. Some weapons in the game do have abilities with super armor. For example, the Stormbreaker Spear, which is the tank spear, has a shock ability, which also has super armor for a second. So whenever the enemy tries to attack me, which he will do in a second, I will use this spear ability to counter it. So he engages me. And I use this super armor spear to basically block the whole thing, negate it, and attack him instead. And just to go back some steps, talking about parries again, parries in PvP are extremely important because let me just show you how much posture damage I do to my enemy just by parrying. So he will do a normal light attack combo and I will parry everything and you will see what I do to his posture. As you can see, his posture is literally going down to 0 and now I can execute him. So theoretically, you can completely play defensive in this game. You don't have to attack once. You can just parry everything and execute the enemy. And then wait for him to engage again, parry everything perfectly and execute him. And you can win a fight without ever attacking once, technically. But there's also perfect dodging in the game. So I can decide to perfect dodge his abilities and then counter engage him. I already told you about that, but let me just showcase it again. If he uses the sword engage, I can literally just perfect dodge the whole thing or block it. Let me do it again. As you can see, I can just dodge stuff. So you can always try to either parry everything, you can block and use the block counter ability, or dodge everything. So you have a lot of options on your hand. Alright, so let's talk about advanced things in the game, because as I just told you, the technical level of PvP in this game is very, very high. If someone is good at the game, he will just literally never allow you to attack once. But that is not spamming, that is high technical knowledge of the game. Or if he's a defensive player, he will never let you hit him once because he has high technical knowledge of the game. So if two players that are on a high technical level face each other, the battle is mostly about finding the right engage, which also comes with a lot of cancels. There are some things that can be cancelled by just dodging, for example. So you know I have this kind of dash on my sword, and I can technically charge it, but just dodge instead. But I can also press the parry button, which also cancels it. That is pretty important because the parry button can almost cancel anything in the game. So let's say I'm using a mystical art, which is a very long mystical art, the flame breath, for example. I can literally stop it by pressing the parry button. So two advanced players will literally just fake engages until one of them like really actually engages, you know? As you can see, I just stopped my nameless sword engage and I will just fake engage for a while until the first one tries to not fake anymore and really attack. Now you can also chain animations. So for example, I showed you my stick ability, which is pretty good as an engage, but if the enemy is too far away, like if I would use it from my position right now, I wouldn't be able to hit him and he can just either parry anything or just run away and not be hit by the stick. But I can technically just chain my sword dash into my stick, for example. So that is one thing that you can do. But you can also chain it into a weapon swap, for example. So now I have another weapon in my hand. So animation cancels and chaining is really important in this game. This goes really, really deep, and you could make a whole video about very strong animation cancels, and obviously the high elo players know some animation cancels that even I don't know about. So the stronger the player that you face, the higher the chances that he knows any animation cancel that you will not understand. Another advanced thing that really blew my mind is that you can combine Meridian Touch and executions to execute someone from ranged. So for example, if I parry him and his posture is like really low and he runs away, I can use the Meridian Touch and press execution at the second it hits him to execute him from ranged, from distance, you know what I mean. Another advanced thing you need to know is you have Serene Breeze to break out of combos, but the enemy has Serene Breeze too. So let's say I'm getting attacked first and I break out with Serene Breeze, you will see that he probably will do the same. You can always expect that. People don't want to be in combos. So he attacks me, I break out, I attack him, and he will most probably break out too. And I'm back on the combo. So you know Serene Breeze has a cooldown of about 36 seconds or something, and you need to keep that in mind. Like watch the match timer, and if he uses Serene Breeze, just like playing League of Legends, you kind of need to keep track of his cooldowns. But again, this is a mind game. So if I break out with Serene Breeze and I expect him to do the same, I can try to kind of punish that, but it's not easy. So he's going to attack me, I'm going to break out, then I'm going to attack him, and I need to expect that. So that's kind of hard, but there is an ability that you can use. Like if you expect him, I will not do it because I'm too bad, but let's say I expect him to use the Serene Breeze now. I will press the Soaring Spin ability to do a jump back and then stab him. Speaking of the Soaring Spin ability, it is a very strong ability because it's fast, it deals a lot of damage, a lot of posture damage, and it also has a jump back, which gives you some space for a second. But the second hit, like he does a second hit behind him after that, is really bad, and it almost never hits. And that is where animation cancelling again comes into play. So if I do the stab, I can just press the parry button to cancel the animation, not do the second hit, instead do another ability that would chain better. For example, the Nameless Sword Engage. So I will stab him, cancel it, and go into another combo. That makes way more sense. And if you combine all of that, all of these strategies, your fights will become very technical, but very cool. Which can look like this, for example.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up, play the game, bruh. Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah. You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'm ever stopping. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me. But they hate from inside, you see, hate themselves in society. So I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen. Oh, the irony to hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo, so where is all the positivity? I feel like we all just hate on everything, it's killing me. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities.
Alright, so these are just the basics of PvP, but it should help you to win your first matches. I mean, you need to spend time with your weapon combination, with your skills. You need to find the perfect set for your playstyle. And let me tell you, I tried many combinations until I finally found the two weapons that I want to go with and my final mystical arts. And we've also done quite some training in the guild arena. So if you have someone to train with, trust me, just train. Just go into the guild arena and train. And just a quick note, if you've ever done open world PvP, like bounty hunting, it is broken right now. Like the healing in open world PvP is broken right now. The soaring spin and the poison arrows can lower the healing, but it's just too much at the moment. So don't worry about that. This will be fixed. But is there any advanced technique in PvP that I didn't know? Please share that in the comment section below. I would really love to hear your expertise on the game. And if you have any other questions that I might cover in another video, just let me know. Post them into the comment section and I will try to note them down and cover it in one of my future videos. Now, if you are someone who struggles with the UI and the menu in the game, I made a whole video on that, showcasing how the logic behind the UI works and how to navigate the menu. So if you want to see that video, it's right here. And if you don't have the time for that, thank you for watching this video today. I see you in the next one. Have a great evening. Bye bye.